Hello everybody and welcome back to Sakura Succubus 2 Part 2. Let's jump right in. Oops. I slept for what feels like a long time. I'm sure I have a series of vivid dreams, but when I finally awake, I can't remember much of them. They feel fuzzy. I can recall, though dimly, long black hair and pale skin. But that's about it. Oh well, it's not like it matters. I'm not the sort of person who places much stock in dreams, blood types, or star signs. I think it's all nonsense. I still feel tired after the events of last night. I was kept up pretty late. Maybe I should go back to bed. I lie back on my futon, ready to sleep, but something stirs me from my half-formed slumber. I can smell something truly amazing. The aroma is complex, multi-layered one, but I can catch defiant hints of miso powder and maybe green onions. This smells even better than my mother's cooking. All of a sudden, I feel incredibly hungry. I wonder if breakfast is ready. This Roken has a communal dining room where guests can do and help themselves to breakfast. I haven't seen the breakfast menu yet, but I imagine the food here is on the traditional side. White rice, fried fish, pickled plums, miso soup, and the like. I never prepare authentic Japanese breakfast when I'm back home. I don't have time for it. I usually make do with toast. I can't remember the last time I ate a truly satisfying breakfast. My stomach's gurgling already. I wonder where the dining room is. Entranced by the wonderful aroma, I rise from my futon. I change out of my nightwear and into my day-to-day clothes, then set off through the halls in search of some substance. It's relatively early in the morning, about 7 or so. The sliding doors that line the hallway are all closed, and I can't hear any noise from them. Maybe the other guests are still asleep. The smell leads me out of the Roken and across the garden. It's a warm day, the sky bright and blue, but I still haven't seen anybody else around. I wonder where they are. I follow the perimeter of the garden, then come to a second building, similar in style of the Roken. This must be where the dining room is. I let myself inside and remove my shoes at the front door. I step into a pair of indoor sandals and begin my search. I make my way through the corridor, turning this way and that, until I come before a set of sliding doors. The aroma I've been following is stronger here than anywhere else. I think this is it. Pardon me. I slide open the door and then... I blink, taken aback. This room is much warmer and muggier than the other rooms in Roken. The interior decor a little different, too. The floor is wooden, not titanium, and is crammed with countertops and electrical appliances. There are no chairs and no tables, unless you count the large table suited in the middle of the room. This isn't the communal dining area. It's not big enough, for a start. This must be the kitchen. The sink is piled high with dishes and saucepans, and soapy suds flit about the room. Various ingredients are strewn upon the table, a bag of miso powder among them. A cutting board is laid out, a few remnants of chopped green onion and ginger still stuck to it. There's an old-fashioned gas plate resting upon one of the countertops. A kettle sits upon one ring, boiling away, while a stainless steel saucepan rests on the other. And standing by the saucepan, an apron wrapped around her middle, is Hifumi. She's the only person in the kitchen. I can't see any other staff. Is she really taking care of the breakfast preparations on her own? Hifumi? What are you doing in here? Oh, Hiroki. Hifumi smiles. If she's at all surprised to see me, she doesn't show it. Her mild expression makes it almost like she was waiting for me. It's nice to see you awake so early. I was afraid you might be tired after the events of last night. How are you faring, dear? I'm doing well enough, but what about you? Why are you in the kitchen? I thought you were a guest. I am a guest, but I rather enjoy cooking. It relaxes me. When I heard that this Roken was understaffed, I offered a helping hand. I thought it would be fun. This place is understaffed? Oh, yes. The head chef came down with a nasty fever at the start of this week. The staff were in quite a tizzy about it. And how did you find out about that? One of the waitresses told me about it at breakfast when I first checked in 5 days ago. The meal was delayed and the food was served was of subpar quality. The poor waitress was very apologetic. She bowed so much she almost knocked her head against my table. I was afraid she had to put so much strain upon herself, the poor thing. I couldn't stand by and do nothing. I asked if I could work in the kitchen, if they needed extra hands. The waitress tried to demur. Oh no, she said, I couldn't possibly impose on you like that, but I insisted. I talked my way into a position as a temporary chef, just for a while, you understand. When the head chef has regained his strength, I will step aside. I see. I guess that explains why Hifumi's doing here. What Hifumi's doing here, but... And what about the rest of the staff? They're very busy preparing the dining room. I told them I didn't need any help here. I've done most of the work already. You're welcome to stay if you want, Hiroki. You can keep me company. Are you sure that's okay? I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm sure it will be fine. Nobody needs to know that you've been in here. I promise I won't tell. Hifumi raises her index finger to her lips in a way that makes my heart thud. This kitchen is quite lonely, and I would appreciate having somebody to talk to while I work. And you can give me useful feedback, too. What sort of feedback? You can tell me how my miso soup tastes. Hifumi scoops a bit of miso soup up in a ceramic spoon and holds it up to me. The liquid shimmers in the sunlight, like liquid amber. I can see a small, bite-sized lump of tofu lying on that spoon, soaked in soup. There's a few curlices of spring onion, too. My stomach, despite desperate for food, does a somersault inside my body. I'm so hungry. Hifumi's food doesn't just smell good, it looks good, too. I can't resist when she holds it out to me like that. Alright, thanks for the food. I duck my head and open my mouth. Hifumi brings a spoon to my lips, and I slurp her miso soup obediently. So? Hifumi smiles sweetly, still holding the spoon aloft. What do you think of my soup? Is it good? I hold the soup in my mouth for a few moments, savoring it. It soaks into my tongue, infiltrating my senses with rich and suitable flavors. Suitable flavors. 5 seconds pass before I can finally bring myself to swallow. The soup slides down my throat and settles in my stomach, warming me from within. Ah, I sigh satisfied. I only had a little bit of Hifumi's soup, but that was more than enough to gauge her skills. Her cooking ability is without peer. It wouldn't be hyperbolic to say, that was the best soup I've ever had in my life. You're cooking almost. I'm going to say that's the best soup I've ever had in my life. That was the best miso soup I've had in my life. My, do you really think so? I don't just think so, I know so. The blend of flavors was exquisite, and the tofu really adds to it. I thought my mom's miso soup was good, but yours is even better than hers. You're incredible. Oh goodness, that is quite the compliment. He. I'm not sure if my humble miso soup deserves such praise, but thank you, Hiroki. I appreciate your kindness. I'm not just being kind, your cooking's out of this world. What did you use to make this soup anyway? Oh, nothing special. I had some finely chopped tofu and green onions. But then secret ingredient is love. Love? Yes, indeed. Whenever I cook, I try to picture the people who will eat it. If it's possible, I would like it if my food could make them smile. I think that is what makes my food taste good. I see. And who do you usually think of when you cook? Now that is an interesting question. Sometimes I think of Marina, or one of my cute little sisters. I even think from time to time of my fans. But this morning, while I was cooking, there was one person whose face kept surfacing in my mind, over and over again. And that was... You don't know? Hifumi's eyes crinkle in the corners. It was you! Me? No? This miso soup was made just for you. I hope you eat a lot of it at breakfast. Devour my food and think of me the whole time. The whole while. Nothing in this world would bring me more joy. After my brief what is that? After my brief TT with Fumi in the kitchen, I make my way to the dining room. Marina, Ayu, and Cosmos must have woken up already, because I find the three of them there, dressed and waiting for their breakfast. Once the food is served and we've eaten our fills, I decide to go for a walk through the garden. I like being with Cosmos, Ayu, and Marina, but sometimes it's nice to be on my own. There's nobody else in the garden, which means there's nobody to disturb me. I breathe in the clean mountain air and luxuriate in the simple stretching of my legs. It sure is nice to get away from the city. I have to make the most of these days. Come next week, I'll be back at the daily grind. I bet my boss will inundate me with work the moment I get back to the office. I have a headache just thinking about it. I can't believe this. I've finally gotten away from my boss, but I can't stop thinking about him. He's infiltrated my mind. Oops, hold on. I sit down on a bench, overlooking an ornamental pond, and let my fingers fist in my hair. Why can't I just relax? I don't want to go back to work just yet. I don't even want to think about work. I guess I've got to stick with my job for now, though. I've always liked photography. It was my hobby as a teen. That's why I decided to become a photographer at Sakura Daily. People say you should try to get a job in a field like you. That way, a field you like. That way you never have to work a day in your life. Foolishly, I believed them. While I still enjoy photography, my passion for it is starting to wane. It's hard to stay enthused about something when it becomes an obligation, and it's even harder to enjoy said obligation when you have an angry boss breathing down your neck. Oh, woe is me. At least I can stay here for a few more days. I'll just kick back and take it easy. Hahaha. Beep, beep. My phone's buzzing. I wonder who that is. With any luck, it'll be Marina asking if we can meet up. Or maybe my parents asking what the latest news is. My life. I have a pretty bad feeling about this, though. I know exactly who it will be, even before I slide my phone out of my pocket. Of course it's that bastard. My boss knew I was going away for a week. I even asked him not to contact me, unless it was an emergency. Here he is sending me more messages. What does he want? I scroll through his message quickly. It's long and rambling like always, but it essentially boils down to this. He has a new job lined up for me already. Huh? My boss wants me to take some photos of an up-and-coming sports star for an article when I get back to Tokyo. He's provided me some detail about her, such as her name, her age, and her accomplishments. Hazel Williams, is it? Her name sounds vaguely familiar. I think she's a tennis player. My dad's pretty fond of tennis, and he likes to tell me about it whenever I go and see him. I'm not invested in tennis, or sports in general, but I guess I'd better drum up some interest if I'm to meet this Hazel girl. Really? Though? Hazel Williams? That doesn't sound like a very Japanese name. Was she really born in this country? Apparently so, according to my boss's message. She represented Japan in some national tennis tournament. She must be part Japanese. Maybe her dad is American. I wonder what she looks like. My boss has sent me a few links to various MyTube videos. I guess this must be footage of Hazel. I'm technically on vacation, but it can't hurt to check out a few of these videos out. If I'm going to photograph this girl, I need to know what she looks like beforehand. Watching her play might give me a few ideas for potential poses, too. When you photograph celebs, particularly sporting stars, dull and static poses are a no-go. Action shots is where it's all at. Let's see here. I open a link to one of the MyTube videos and wait for it to load. The Wi-Fi around here is pretty spotty, so it takes a while. The video loads for a good 2 minutes. But when it finally starts, my attention is completely captured. The Hazel Williams in this short clip is a well-proportioned woman with a tan complexion. Her hair is pulled back into a ponytail, and she's wearing a striped shirt and a cute pleated skirt. She grips a tennis racket in one hand, her face a mask concentration. The opponent, a mousy-haired woman, a little no, hits the ball across the net. Hazel watches its trajectory, her eyes keen like a hawk. Then she strikes. She darts forth, the powerful muscles in her thighs rippling as she returns the ball to the other side of the court. Her opponent tries to parry, but she's too slow. She can't make it in time. And that's game to Williams. She's taking the championship. Williams wins with a score of 6-2. Williams wins. Alright. Hazel drops her racket. She turns to the camera and beams brightly, despite the exhaustion evident on her brow. She smiles a large toothy grin, her face flushed and sweaty, and strikes a victory pose. I did it! I won! Her enthusiasm is infectious, even from the other side of the screen. This video was uploaded 18 hours ago. I guess this might be footage from a tournament yesterday. The foursome's already over and done with. But I feel excited simply watching Hazel. She's so cute and bubbly, it's hard not to root for her. She's pretty impressive. I wonder what the comments say. I don't usually bother trolling through the comments on MyTube, though the internet's anonymity can be a blessing. At other times, it can be a curse. People seem particularly quick to show the worst sides of themselves on comment sections like MyTube. If I had 1,000 yen for every time if I had 100 yen for every time I've seen MyTube comment section descend into chaos and anarchy, I'd be richer than Marina. To my relief, however, I find that this comment section is relatively tame. Most of the replies are supportive of Hazel, if a little lecturous. Hazel really is adorable. Her little fang is to die for. Her thighs are even more thick than a strawberry milkshake. What a goddess. For such a young athlete, her form is excellent. You can tell she practices a lot. She's always so cheerful. Watching her never fails to make me happy. She's the pride and joy of Japan. We all love you, Hazel. What I wouldn't give for her to crush me to death between those thighs of hers. Did any of you guys know that she's a lesbian? I saw an article about it online. There are pics of her kissing another woman. I just wish that was me. Hey guys, I am out of my mind, or is Hazel not wearing any panties? Pausing the video at 27 and take a look. This could be big if true. No panties, huh? I doubt that's true. There's no way an up-and-coming athlete like Hazel Williams would be allowed to pay a public televised match commando. But her tanned, sweaty thighs are very appealing. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more of her, if you catch my drift. I follow the instructions of that one unscrupulous comment and start the video at 27. Then, I stare at my screen. My eyes narrow with laser-like focus. I think I can see a flash of something flesh-colored beneath the pleats of her shorts, white skirt, but it's so blurry I can't really tell. Maybe she's just wearing skin-colored undies. That must be it. Now, I feel dumb for getting my hopes up. Well, duh. Why do you even want to look at Hazel's rear? It's not like you're so desperate you need to lust after every pretty girl. You already have a you, Cosmos, and Marina. Isn't it enough? Besides, if this is another comment is to be believed, Hazel doesn't even like men. I wonder if she really is a lesbian. I guess it could be all hearsay. I could always look it up online and the support photos of her kissing another woman, but I decided to leave off for now. I've wasted enough time scrutinizing the pixels of this tournament footage. Lesbian or not, she seems like an interesting woman. I'd like to meet her. Photographing her sounds like fun. I type out a quick reply to my boss' email. I briefly consider sending a message to my dad, too. Being a huge tennis nut, I bet he'd be able to provide me with the ample information about Hazel. He'd probably be excited, too, to know that I have a shot of photographing her. But in the end, I decided against it. I can tell him later. Right now, I think I'd rather go back to my room and relax. I rise from the bench and stretch, raising my arms above my head. My body feels tense, my shoulders stiff. I always get like this when I have to talk to my boss, even over an email. He's so demanding. I wanted to relax more. Darn it. I turn, ready to leave the guard behind me, but... oof. I ran into my girl Cosmos. Squishy boobs and all. Oof. Gah. I smack into something very soft and squishy, like 2 loaves of freshly baked bread. Hiroki? It looks like I'm pressed up against Cosmos with nary an inch of space between us. I must have bumped into her, and by the sounds of it, it was with some degree of strength. Are you alright? I didn't hurt you, did I? No, I'm fine. You sure? My chest absorbed most of the impact. They're kind of like airbags, you see? Right. I don't know if that's a mental image I really needed, but I'm glad everything seems to be okay. I'd hate to give my cute girlfriend any bumps or bruises, even accidentally. Thank you for being so considerate, though. You truly are the best boyfriend a girl could have. With a cute, girlish giggle, Cosmos nuzzles closer to me. She smells pretty good, and she feels good, too. Though our embrace was of rather sudden nature, I might be enjoying this a bit too much. I should probably put a stop to things before they get too out of hand. I love you too, but could you give me a bit of air? If anybody sees us out here, we might get in trouble. Oh yes, you are quite right. I'm sorry. I was so happy to see you, I simply couldn't help myself. Perhaps I act a bit too forward, hee hee. Cosmos takes a step back, smiling shyly. When I'm with you, I sometimes forget that I'm a succubus. I was drawn to you because of your unique scent, which is like honey to us, succubi, but you treat me with much more kindness than anybody else has. When we're together, I feel like I really am your girlfriend. My face starts to turn red, and my heart flutters in my chest. I get all excited, and then, well, Cosmos Smiles takes a rueful tinge. I forget myself. We succubi aren't humans, though we may look human. We're a lot stronger than your kind. If I'd start clinging to you, I could have hurt you. And if that happened, I would never have forgiven myself. And I bet Marina and you would never forgive me either. They love you a lot, too. I'm not sure about that. I know Marina and you are fond of me, however much you tries to pretend otherwise, but I don't know if they love me in the traditional sense. Marina seems to like me as a pet, whereas you, well, we know what's going on with that girl. Who knows what's going on with that girl? She's so tempestuous and flatly, I doubt even she fully understands her own feelings. Hey, Hiroki. Cosmos peers at me. Are you alright? You look deep in your thought about something. Kind of, I guess. Is it about work? Yeah, it is. How'd you know? I was walking through the garden, taking some pretty photographs. Of course she was, being a rap-a-pound star with millions of followers. Cosmos takes photos of almost everything. She's even crazier about photography than I am. When I saw you sitting on the bench, you were looking at your phone and your brow was creased. That's the look you always wear when your boss messages you, so I figured it was work-related. Phew. I whistle. That's some good guesswork. You're like a regular detective. No, I'm not. I'm not smart enough. And who told you that? The rest of my sisters say I'm stupid. You in particular. I think she has a point. I'm slow. It's hard for me to learn new things. I can never memorize dance steps like you, or work in a business like Marina. I'm not clever at all. Yeah, dude, she's my favorite. 100% my favorite. But you figured out how I was feeling and what was wrong with me, all from the glance? You might disagree with me, but I think you're pretty clever. It's not. I can tell how you feel because we've spent a lot of time together. It's because I'm your girlfriend. I used to be bad at understanding emotions, too. You always said I had trouble reading the atmosphere, whatever that is. I thought maybe I was the defective succubus. I didn't understand humans, or myself. I didn't know what my purpose was. But I think I've gotten better at this after being with you. You help me understand nice feelings, love and happiness, but also dark negative feelings like jealousy and loneliness. I've never really experienced those things until now. It's all new for me, but Cosmos rests a hand against her breast, just above her heart. I cherish each and every one of them. Thank you, Hiroki, for helping me. You have done more for me than you can imagine. So, if possible, I would like to lend an ear for your worries too. I want to be with you, if you don't mind. Cosmos looks so utterly adorable my heart lurches. She's so sweet, it should be illegal. Cosmos? Yes, Hiroki? You do more than enough for me already. But, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. I have Marina and you too. You're all very precious to me. I cup Cosmos' cheek with my hand, then dip my head, my lips meet hers for a brief, gentle kiss, which she sights into. Hiroki? She smiles tremulously. I love you. And I love you too. I love you loads. How much is loads exactly? I can't quantify it. Can't you try? Numbers make things easier to understand. Well, emotions don't really work like that. They're not always logical, but let's see. I love you more than there are stars in space. How's that? Oh, you... Cosmo shakes her head. I don't think she entirely believes this bold claim, but the smile on her lips still doesn't waver. That can't be true. There are billions and billions and billions of stars in space. I doubt any human has the ability to love anybody that much. You're flattering me. Of course I am, but there is a problem with that. I am your boyfriend after all. But is there a problem with that? I am your boyfriend after all. Hiroki? Thank you. Cosmos winds her arms around mine, and I escort her to the bench where I sat before. We both sink down upon it. Cosmos shivering as the cool stone presses against her bare thighs. Cosmos lets her head fall upon my shoulder. A few loosened straps of her cayenne hair tickle my nose. She's so close to me I can smell her shampoo. It's very sweet, like strawberries. Everything about Cosmos is sweet. It's no wonder she's so popular. She has a huge amount of male fans, so we have to be careful when we're together. If anybody knew I was dating Cosmos, my life wouldn't be worth living. Back in Tokyo, the two of us had to be very careful whenever we went out on dates. But now we're in the countryside. We can afford to throw caution to the wind. I like strawberries as well. It's nice to sit with Cosmos alone and enjoy the moment. I know I won't get a chance to do this when I leave the Rokin. I need to make the most of my time while I can. Hiroki? Cosmos looks at me, her heart-shaped face tilted askance. Are you still thinking about work? Ah ha ha ha. You got me. Sorry about that. I know I came here to unwind, but it's harder than it seems. It's alright. I understand. I'm finding it hard to relax too. Give me a good ripe strawberry. I like it, but if they're fucking any bit sour, You are? Huh? Cosmo shifts on the bench, perhaps trying to get comfy. She nuzzles her cheeks against my shoulder and sighs. Since I'm an internet celebrity, I always have to work. I can never take any time away or my fans will get restless. I want to relax too and spend time with you. But I have to upload new photographs to my Rapid Pound account every day. That's why I've been taking a lot of pictures. I'm appreciative of my fans, of course. It's because of them I'm able to continue manifesting in the human world. Without their love and support, I wouldn't have the strength to keep going. But they can be quite demanding. It's hard satisfying the expectations of all of these people. Sometimes I think it would be easier to give up all this fame. To give all this fame up. I never really wanted to be famous anyway. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to stay in the human realm, and I wouldn't be able to spend time with you. It's a dilemma. Man, that sounds hard. I never knew you had it so rough. I thought e-girls had pretty crushy lives, all things considered, but I suppose even they have worries. I can tell Cosmos is giving her job her all. She wants to satisfy all of her fans. But she has over 1 million of them. In that sense, it's almost like she has over 1 million bosses. They're all pulling her in different directions, demanding new content on the daily, and Cosmos is doing her best to make them happy. but it's not possible to satisfy everyone. Well, do your best. Hang in there. I pull Cosmo's slender body a little closer to mine and wind an arm about her shoulder. I don't know if I can help in a practical sense, but I'm always here to listen. I'll do my best to ease your stress however I can. I don't want you making yourself sick. You will take good care of yourself, won't you? Cosmos is so spaced out, she's exactly the kind of person who might forget to eat or clean up her house without a bit of prompting. I'll do my best. But if I fail on that score, would you mind looking after me? Tell Cosmos she should learn to take care of herself. Tell Cosmos she'll look after her. Of course. Of course I'll look after you. I don't mind a bit. In fact, it would be my pleasure. I kiss Cosmos again, and she sighs against my mouth. Our tongues brush together, and I taste her saliva. It's very sweet, just like the rest of Cosmos. Still, I draw my lips away from Cosmos and smile sheepishly. I'm sure a lot of people would be surprised to know that succubi have so many concerns. I guess we all have to work to make a living in this world, huh? That's right. We might be different species, but we're not very dissimilar. Some succubi look down on humans. They treat them like lesser beings, our princess included. But I think those succubi are wrong. You humans are important too. You don't have the powers we do, but you're all working to make ends meet. I like how tenacious you are. It's admirable. And I think you're admirable too. You might be having a hard time with work, but don't give up. I believe in you, Hiroki. Thanks. I'll do my best to believe in me. I'll do my best to believe in me too. I was feeling kind of down after receiving that message from my boss, but this conversation with Cosmos has helped flip my negative feelings around. She's a succubus and I'm a human, but we're both doing our best to achieve our goals. In the past, I stressed over my job on my own. I didn't have a girlfriend or any close friends to confide in. But now I have Cosmos, you, and Marina. I'm not alone. A lot of people are cheering me on, and I don't want to let them down. And Hiroki, one more thing. What is it? Well, I don't want you to think I'm jealous or anything. That isn't it. You might be my boyfriend, but I don't mind having an open relationship. I know Marina, you love you, and I don't want to tear you apart from them. They're my sisters too, though we're not related by blood, and I also love them. I would be happy if we could all be happy together, but you was right. You should be wary of Hifumi. She's more aggressive than she looks. If you give her a chance, she'll make a move on you. Don't let your guard down, or you could end up her slave. Would Hifumi really try to do something like that? She seems so nice. She might seem nice, but looks can be deceiving. You should be careful, Hiroki. With that woman around, you might be in danger. Don't be taken in by her sweet facade. You have to keep in mind that she's an actress. And she's much, much better at hiding her true intention than you. Damn, she's right. Damn right, that's what I'm saying. Despite Cosmos' warning, the rest of my day passes without event. I don't see Hifumi for the whole evening. If Hifumi does want to make me her slave, she sure is playing the long game. Does she really want that, though? It seems out of character coming from such a mild-mannered woman. I can't imagine Hifumi playing the role of dominatrix. The role is far better suited for Marina. Well, whether Hifumi has a dark side or not, it seems my time at this Roken will be more interesting than I anticipated. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate the ones that will stop by after this stream. Remember, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It helps out my channel. I'm really enjoying these games. I really am. And just think, I have like 4 more of these. I have like all 6 games. So, but yep, I streamed twice today. I haven't done that in a long time. I'm starting to get back into the groove. I see my buddies enjoying it too. But unfortunately, we've hit that time where I must bid everybody adieu. Goodbye and good night.